Every secure note begins where raw minerals become precision material. Every secure note begins where raw minerals become precision material. Before ink and portrait, there is grinding, controlled, repeatable force. Size becomes specification. Nothing moves forward until it fits the standard. Security starts long before printing, at the point of sealing. In the right mix, raw inputs become a material built to survive circulation. Heat and pressure don't create art, they create consistency. To print security, the base must first be calm and stable. Uniform pellets mean uniform film. Every step narrows the margin. The raw stock climbs toward the machines that turn it into a printable skin. This is the moment material becomes a continuous canvas.
Microns decide strength, feel, and the future life of the note.
Cleaner, safer, stronger. Polymer demands a cleaner birth. A see-through window is not decoration, it's engineered proof.
From this roll, every sheet will carry security inside the material. If it can't be traced, it doesn't enter the currency system.
Protection begins here, before ink ever touches the surface. Now the material leaves the source toward printing, where security becomes visible. The journey starts sealed, because currency begins with control. When the seal locks, the route becomes part of the security.
No shortcuts, only controlled passage from source to press.
Even the road's vibration is accounted for in the chain.
Security is quiet until something breaks the pattern.
Every stop is measured, every seal reconfirmed. If the underside is clean, the story stays unbroken. Movement is fast, but control is faster.
The shipment knows where it is, every second.
Soon, the road ends, and the controlled perimeter begins.
Before printing starts, identity must be verified.
A single green light can protect millions of notes. Now the shipment crosses the line from public risk to internal control. Alignment first, because nothing opens until everything is positioned. Before entry, the last proof is the seal itself.
Only one moment is allowed to break the seal, and it's recorded forever.
Inside that trailer is a future sheet, waiting for ink.
Control doesn't slow the process, it makes it possible.
The substrate has arrived. Now the factory must earn its trust. Before ink meets polymer, the facility itself becomes a security system. Here, every motion leaves a record.
Entry is engineered because value attracts attention.
Once inside, every route is predetermined. Security isn't a checkpoint, it's a rhythm.
Authorization is the first machine that must accept you.
Inside, even clothing becomes part of contamination control.
Before printing, discipline is worn.
A hall is built to move sheets safely, stage to stage. Between machines, secure rooms keep the process intact.
Material doesn't enter the press, it's introduced.
A banknote is built in layers, each one verified.
Tension, alignment, repeat. Printing begins with feed control.
The background must land perfectly before detail can exist. First comes the foundation, quiet patterns that fight counterfeit copies. Now the substrate is inside the system, ready for its first real transformation.
Before the next layer, the surface must be absolutely clean.
Anything that shouldn't be there is removed, quietly, continuously. Inspection begins before printing, so defects don't travel forward. The line corrects itself in real time, so every layer lands true. A stable surface is the start of stable security.
Even a join must obey the design's geometry.
A perfect seam is one that can't be found.
When the map stays green, the process can move forward.
Next, the note receives the feature that light can't copy.
At speed, microns decide authenticity.
A security device is applied, layered into the flow.
The factory doesn't guess. It matches to a known truth.
A clear window is a signature, kept clean by design. Bad material doesn't get fixed later, it gets removed now.
Control includes waste, because waste can also be stolen.
Now the real build begins, layer by layer, pressure by pressure. Now the line applies the features you can feel, pressure made visible. Ink stays only where the engraving allows it. This is the tactile signature, built by force and precision.
Detail this small is a language only the right machines can speak.
Every feature is checked at speed before it can fail later. Heat sets the layer, locking security into place. After pressure and heat, identity comes next. A note becomes a record the moment it gets a number. Unique codes applied under pressure so duplicates can't hide.
If the number isn't perfect, the note doesn't continue.
The final layers protect everything underneath. A microscopic coat adds years of life. Durability is engineered without hiding the security. Before cutting, the line confirms the story is complete. Now the continuous web becomes counted sheets, ready for the next transformation. This is the moment the endless roll becomes countable currency. A sheet must be perfect before it can be divided. Waste is removed first, so the final cuts stay clean. Square edges mean every note will match its neighbor. Now the process turns from printing to finishing, fast and exact. The blade doesn't rush. The setup decides the cut. One cut sets the geometry for every note that follows.
Long cuts first, then the cross cuts will release each note.
The sheet becomes strips, still controlled, still numbered.
Now each index becomes a single banknote.
Separation is gentle, so the security remains untouched. From here on, every note is judged individually. A number becomes a verdict in milliseconds. Defects are removed instantly, so quality stays continuous. Speed means nothing without counting. Order returns, stack by stack, ready to be sealed. Finished notes are secured again before they ever leave the line. Automation starts by turning stacks back into single truths. Speed is allowed only when handling stays gentle. Once inside the tunnel, the process becomes tamper-proof. Every wavelength tells a different part of the story. The machine reads what the eye can't measure. Geometry matters because counterfeiters miss the margins. Automation doesn't argue, it sorts. Defects are removed from the system permanently.
Security includes the end of anything that fails.
What survives inspection becomes inventory. The machine rebuilds order, one brick at a time. Every finished unit is sealed again, because it's valuable again.
From this point, even the containers have identities.
Automation has done the heavy work. Now precision will do the final work.
In finishing, precision means every unit stays traceable.
No hands, only controlled contact. Finished cash moves like product, because it is. Packaging isn't decoration, it's protection and proof. The outside label becomes the next chain of custody. One seam, tamper evident by design. Heat finishes what sealing begins. Uniform tension, uniform protection.
Even packaging is inspected, because weight reveals mistakes.
Single bundles become transport units, built for movement. Outside data matches inside reality, every time.
Now the factory packs money like any high-value product, system first.
A box is a boundary between order and chaos.
Every placement is the same, because security loves consistency. The unit is sealed. Now it must prove itself one last time. Packaging complete doesn't mean approved. Approval is earned. Quality control begins with randomness, so no defect can predict escape.
A single brick can represent a million decisions. In the lab, every contact is controlled.
Security must survive both light and touch.
If the smallest letters fail, the whole note fails.
Texture isn't aesthetic, it's measurable.
Durability is proven by stress, not promises.
If ink can lift, trust can lift.
Human checks confirm what machines must read later.
A batch ships with evidence. When the lab approves, production becomes inventory. Approval is not the end, it's permission to move.
Now the product becomes shipment. Now the product becomes shipment.
Approval turns into movement. Movement turns into responsibility.
Storage isn't just a room, it's a controlled state.
Once inside, access becomes rare and records become constant. Automation keeps humans out and inventory accurate. In a vault, location is as important as quantity.
Stored doesn't mean still. Dispatch is already scheduled.
Demand decides the next move, season by season.
The vault gives back only what the system requests. A stable pallet survives transport without a single box shifting. Now the factory hands over to distribution. Final scan, final confirmation, then the door closes.
Security repeats itself because repetition prevents surprises.
From here, notes enter the wholesale cash network.
The product is finished, but the system keeps moving.
Every dispatch is a controlled transfer of trust.
And this is how modern factories produce pound currency from start to finish.
A nation's money is built on process, not mystery.